Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a Porsche 911, and this is the 991, the last before the newest one. Anyways, let's get the drone up. So here it is. This is a 911. Now this is not your S, not your GTS, not your GT4 or GT3. Well, no, it wouldn't be a GT4. What I'm trying to say is this is your base model 911 of the 991 variation, and this is a beautiful one. And you know, 911s, they are, like I've said about other Porsches, they're more about evolution in the sense that the shape and everything overall, your circle headlights in the front is pretty much moderate changes throughout the years. Now I'm holding the key right here, and you can see this is the shape of the Porsche itself. Just genius, I think. So we'll start off outside again. Like I was saying, you know, you don't have revolutionary changes to this. Is evolution, of course, like I've always said about these Porsches. Same goes with like your Boxsters, your Caymans, and of course your 911s. Now this one here in the front, again, your traditional headlights. Now they changed it where the newer ones have like the 4 dots in here. This one doesn't have that. Now, being that it's a 911 and the engine's in the rear, the front is a frunk. We'll actually go ahead and open that now. And just by holding that, as you can see, this, just like pretty much the Boxster that I have and the Cayman, is pretty identical up here. You got plenty of space. You can see my backpack right here, and that still leaves you with a ton of room. I'll try to get my shadow out of the way, as you can see there. And here you have your battery and some other fluids. This super lightweight front hood. Push the Porsche symbol down. Now your gas is going to go on the passenger side here in the US and in the front, whereas most other cars you see out here in the US, they'll be in the rear and usually on the driver's side, just because a lot of people out here own Japanese cars, so that's how it is. Now the rims on these stock rims, these are a little dirty, but they're beautiful nonetheless. Of course, it's staggered, so the rears are a bit larger. And unlike the 992, the 991 still has your handles that stick out, as opposed to the 992, which is flush now. The top on this one in particularly looks like you'd have completely glass in the back, but I do believe this is a gloss black vinyl. Obviously it's not a sunroof, because on the inside you'll see that it's Alcantara or like a micro suede. Going into the rear, again, this is a rear engine vehicle, so you have a few vents here, and you have your wing. I like having the wing up at all times, like it looks like I'm driving fast, and of course I am not, because I rented this car from Turo and I respect the person who rented it to me. So yeah, we'll get that popped open right now just so you can see it. Might as well while we're back here. Now you have your 2 latches here like you do in a Boxster or a Cayman, except the back, of course, is going to be for not a trunk, but again for the engine. And as these cars get newer, you see less and less. Now these are held up on their own. Again, some fluids back here, and your engine. This is a 3.4. You see a couple of fans, and that's about it. There's nothing else you can do from up here with this car, but at least you see something, right? Yeah, really nice. You can see right here a lot of ventilation for it. But yeah, pretty basic. Out in the back, beautiful lines, I think, throughout. As you can see how like the back just kind of, you get this little hump over here, and yeah, the way the tail lights look and everything, I think is just beautiful. You got your dual exhaust, which we will listen to right now. Obviously I've been driving the car around, so this will not be a cold start. This will be a warm start of the Porsche 911, and I'll give it a couple revs. Let's do it. sounds amazing, and this is your base model 911. Sounds beautiful. Imagine this thing with exhaust. Now, I am going to leave the car on because it is about 90 something degrees, 90 degrees actually. Yeah, 90 degrees here in the Bay Area, and it is barely noon, or no, not even. It's 11:38. So yeah, we'll do the tour now in the nice air conditioning. Now you have over here on the door panel, you have your memory. You have up to 3 memory settings for it. Now you got very pretty looking door handle, I think, and like the Cayman and the Boxster, this, like, the compared to the 981 of both variations of the mid-engine car, which is the Boxster and the Cayman, you have a lot of similar parts on this. Now, the biggest change obviously is your gauges. You have the 5 different gauges here on the 911, which is obviously traditional. They've been doing this forever. Whereas if you had the Cayman or Boxster, it would look a lot like this. Not a lot like, it would look exactly like this. So you gain a tiny one over here that gives you some oil temperature, and also on this side, which gives you some more temperature gauges and your gas fuel, whereas this one right here is all digital. You can go and look at different items here for your car, and including navigation, which I think is pretty cool, even though you technically have that over here in the infotainment. But going back to this side of the car, now you can control your mirrors and open your windows through here. I'll have to open the door again to show you. You have a bit of a compartment space here, which is open. This is exactly like the 981. You have your Bose stereo, which sounds beautiful. A tiny cubby that opens up here, but again, slightly open. If you watch my video on the 981, this I could be showing you a 981, and this is exactly the same thing. And like other Porsches, you do start the engine over here. They opted not to go with the start, push to start, like most new cars do. But now, if you're not familiar, and I've said it in all my Porsche videos, is that it's on your left side as opposed to your right side, and that has to do with Le Mans racing or other racings where in the past you had to run to your car, then start it, then go racing. So the thought was that you have one hand with the key and the other one ready to go over here. And obviously this one's a PDK. This, if you know me, if you follow the channel, you know I'm a manual transmission fan. But if I were to ever do an automatic, PDK is the best one to go with. Although there's another automatic that I like that I won't mention in this video. But yeah, you got your paddle shifters here on the steering wheel. Now, if you're like me, before actually seeing this steering wheel of the Porsche, which is my favorite steering wheel, the nice and plain one, well, I kind of like the other one with the little twirly button thing, but I was under the impression before I actually saw this in person that this was metal, but this is actually plastic, and this does not go through to the other side. This is all just plastic here. It's not metal like it looks like, but it looks a lot like metal and does not feel like it. Now these, I believe, are a similar feel to it on the paddle shifters. The paddle shifters are a great way to feel like you're driving a manual, although you're not. You could actually do it from here with the plus and minus as well. I opted to use these so if my hands were right on the steering wheel, which I thought was a really great touch. But this car, either way, if you put it in sport mode, you're gonna have fun no matter if you're using the paddle shifters or not. But yeah, watch my first impression where you can actually see me driving the car and giving my impressions of how it drives as well. Now, another thing to take note that looks different here compared to like a Cayman or a Boxster is you kind of have like more of a slanted dash right here, and the vents are kind of different, whereas I think on the Boxsters and Caymans they kind of sit up top. This one obviously doesn't have the chrono pack, so you don't see the chronometer up here. This is all touchscreen. With a few buttons here, like if you want to go directly to your map and whatnot. Again, so you would have a map here and a map there. Pretty cool, I think. This one has heated seats. It doesn't have the cooled seats, but you have your temperature and all that. Again, this is all pretty much with the exception of up here. This all has a feel and look of a 981 down all the way through. until of course you get to the back, which is there's seats back there, obviously because it's a 911. So yeah. And continuing with the seats, now these seats, if you're my size, which I am under 6 foot tall, and these seats feel just fine. I got plenty of headroom and it's super comfortable. Over here you have the infamous cup holders that you can pop out. There's one on each side, and if you want to just close that back up, you can, and just have your cup holders out and adjust. When these are functioning right, they do a pretty good job, and they do a nice job of tucking away out of the view of the driver and anyone else in the car. On that side, again, you have more storage, and over here you do have a center console, which is probably big enough for your cell phone, and that's about it. Up top, like I mentioned, outside we have like a micro suede Alcantara all the way through. Again, the Bose stereo system is just it's really nice. Any music you play, it just sounds perfect. I love Bose. I have that in my Boxster, and yeah, I think you should definitely go with that option if you can, whenever you can, when you're buying any car really that has an option for Bose. Something I mentioned in my first impressions, which is, you know, I'm so used to having a Boxster and driving other Boxsters that have pretty much just an engine right behind. Now, I've never ever tried to sit in the back of a Porsche 911. I'm no Doug DeMuro, so I'm just gonna get this from my point of view. Okay. Oh, whoa. All right, so I'm not even 6 feet tall. I'm hitting my head here. This is the, oh Jesus. You know, I thought people were over exaggerating when they were saying that it's uncomfortable back here, and yeah, this is uncomfortable. The seat is not even fully put back. If it was, I can't even close it up, and it would have to be someone short up front and someone short and small up back. But this is not comfortable at all. Even the backrest doesn't feel right at all. This feels like cardboard. This is, oh man, yeah. These things should just be down, because I do believe you could just get these down and they become flat. Oh man, and they got a ton of stuff back here. I'm not sure what all these things are, but there are a few things back here, and we'll close that up because, yeah, that's not mine. Could put a baby seat back here. I don't have any kids, so I wouldn't worry about that. Is there room for cats here? Definitely. Now I'm gonna try. Oh, I have to get out. I'm getting out. Oh my God, you have to. I'm probably gonna fall out of here, guys. This is not comfortable at all. Okay. All right. That was probably the worst view you've seen on my channel. I'm sorry, guys, but that's the reality. Like, I had to hunch forward and try to throw myself out of the vehicle. Ladies and germs, that's gonna do it today for the Porsche 911. I hope you guys enjoyed a quick little tour of it. You know, my stuff, it's not a professional review. Imagine I'm just like your buddy showing you your car. That's the vlog style reviews. That's kind of, or tours, that's what I do. Again, I hope you guys enjoy that. Go check out my first impressions of the car. Also, I have probably another video I like to do, which is like beauty shots at golden hour with this car, so you could see it nice and clear and in a beautiful sunset here in the Bay Area, California. But yeah, again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, share with anyone that might like this type of content. Look out for the other videos I have coming out with this car. And let me know what you have. Let me know what you think of the Porsche 911, the Boxster, the Cayman, just Porsches in general. I love Porsches, and would love to read your thoughts on this car and all the other cars in the Porsche lineup. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.